Alright, there we go. Alright, we're getting going. Huh. Alright, there we are. There we are. Alright, what we got here? Ugh. Let's see if I can upgrade my house. Nope, need 5 grand. Huh. Well, let's go save. Change characters. Maybe some other time I'll screw around and play with Lady. download some of this shit. Super happy with that. Let's see what we can. Is that better? I think that's better. Whew. Ah, shit. I didn't think I'd one-hit KO that Dark Priest. I was going to try to catch him. Let's heal some dudes. Do 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 do. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? Hopefully near the end of this game. Trying to check off some games out of the backlog. Only something like 97% of my collection remains to be beaten. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. It just sucks that I didn't, get this back in the day. If I got this when it was new, I would have been able to sink lots of time in it and build up all the characters and really, enjoy it and try to get all the loot and good items and all that shit. But with so many games sitting on the shelf, I'm just trying to beat the story mode, call it a day. Throw it in my spreadsheet as a game I've beaten. Ain't no problem. The other game I've been playing, I streamed a little bit of it, but not all of it. Was playing Dungeon Explorer on TurboGrafx 16. Me and the woman beat it last night, and coincidentally, yesterday was the 30th anniversary of Dungeon Explorer. Someone on my Instagram, one of the Japanese accounts I follow, they posted that yesterday was the 30th anniversary. I was like, huh, that's fucking nuts. That's what me and the woman have been playing. And then last night, right before the stroke of midnight, we managed to beat it. I'm going to try to... What's fucked up is I put up a short video on my Instagram. My Instagram's Jerry Terrifying. Put up a short clip of it this morning, and what sucks is, like, at the exact same time the final boss died, I died. So my woman went and picked up the, little tchotchke, the item, and got all the glory. Let's see if we can capture this guy. Nope. Good job, Kickbot. Yeah, I know. You're either at one end of the extreme. You have so little time, you don't know how you're gonna make it, or you're just drowning in time, and you're just like, ah, fuck. What am I gonna do? That's the way I am. Like, I remember the last time I had nothing but time, it just depressed the shit out of me. And now I'm just, like, busy every day. Like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this time, I lift weights. And then I was running in January, but my ankle started hurting, so I don't want to press it. So I'm going to wait till I lose some more weight before trying to run again. But every day in January, I ran at least a mile. And got to rest week at the beginning of February, went for an easy run, and then my ankle started hurting. Waited a couple days, felt fine, ran again, and it started hurting. It's like, oh, don't want to fuck that up. So then, last month I didn't really run. I'm looking forward to the spring and get out on the bike. Like, I ride my bike to work all winter long, unless it's icy out. So I still get a few miles in every week. But I'm looking forward to this spring and really getting to ride. Now, a couple years ago, I was big fat 400-pound mode. My goal is to get down to 185, and I'm getting close. I like the winter. Most people don't, but well, one of the copes that people make is, you know, you can't appreciate the summer without the winter. That makes more sense that you have time to dick around on the internet right now. It's your late night right now, right? Is that how the globe works? I fucking forget. I used to have an internet buddy from Australia. A couple years ago, I probably would have known about what time of the day you're looking at. I'd call that pretty late night. Like, yeah, this probably isn't the best time in the world to be streaming, but this is my baby's nap time. I probably got another good hour Jared time on my hands if I don't get too loud and animated. No, isn't that always the way? It's usually some kind of bullshit. All these mystery fruits. Let's see what that does. So we'll pick up the level seed. And we'll use the level seed. Wish I had some identifying items. He can't use that. Taste of fruit, 1,500 points. We'll hold on to you. Let's see what this does. Nice. That's what I was hoping it would do. Oh, brother. I only know freedom units. 400 pounds is fat as fuck. That's like morbid obesity. They'll make a show about you on put you a show on cable about how fat you are, that kind of weight. Let's see. I'll look it up for you since you asked. See, where'd I top out at? 415. That's where I topped out at. Whew. It's 188 kilograms. I've lost about 200 pounds over the past 3 years. Usually when I'm talking shit to, you know, people from the entire rest of the planet, I say, we put a man on the moon, we'll measure shit however we want. Get some of that American exceptionalism. So I've lost about half of that. I'm down to... Last time I hopped on a scale was in December, and my weight's gone down from like the running every day in January. I probably got down to 215. And I feel like I'm right back up to 230 from not running. And then my father passed away in January, so like on January 1st actually. So I did all the running to keep like all focused, and then when I hit rest week, I don't know, man, my head got all fucked up, and I think I just started like stress eating again. Old habits, you know. But I'm eating clean again. I've been lifting consistently. My lifts have gone up from eating. You know, that's something I worry about is like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, when you lift, you do the bulking phase where you eat more. So, like, my lifts have gone up, which is cool. But I wasn't planning on trying to bulk until I hit the goal of 185. Sometime this summer, when cycling season starts and I can start going on big boy rides. You're in these fucking kilometers. Now, I agree. Like, when I was in school in 3rd grade, they tell us, like, hey, there's this other measurement system that makes sense, and the world uses it. And I'm like, oh, okay. But then after that, they don't really use it. Like, they tell you what it is and how to convert it, and then just no one uses it. I think we should make the switch. But don't get me started on those United Kingdom buttholes that use fucking stone. It's like, oh, he weighs 2 stone. It's like, oh, what kind of medieval nonsense are you talking about? I guess you conquer 2/3 of the globe. You can measure shit however you want. Let's see. What was I thinking? So, like, last summer, the longest ride I went on was 72 miles, and that's 115.87 kilometers. That's the longest bike ride I went on. I used to do a big ride like that once a week. I got this baby in here. I'm looking forward to getting a bicycle trailer and taking her with me, and, like, you know, we can ride. She'll take a little nap. We'll get out at a park, let her run around. Looking forward to it. I have thought about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The way I ride my bike to work, I go past a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, but it's a matter of time and money. I mean, I got my days so jam-packed. So I do the stay-at-home dad thing. Her mom works out of the house. She's upstairs, so we both get to spend our days with the baby, which I like, and I think that's important, and people should prioritize their ability to do that instead of just having some stranger wage slave that doesn't really care about your kid, you know, watch them. And what's the level of care they're really going to provide? Are they going to, like, I don't let the baby watch TV, and, you know, but when my mom watches her, she knows how important that is. She'll still put screens in front of her, even though, you know, it's pretty damaging, I believe. So that's why I'm looking forward to getting that baby in the bicycle trailer, because then, you know, I don't have to... That's one less thing that I have to rely on a babysitter for. You know, I can take the kid with me when I'm doing shit like that, and I'm hoping she loves it. Knowing my luck, she'll absolutely hate it, but... But yeah, I would love to do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, I would be into that big time. Yeah, just with the political climate in the country right now. God, like, I'm super, well, I'm a pro Second Amendment guy, but I actually don't own very many firearms. I think I should have a... Oh shit, I've been completely ignoring the Twitch chat. That's right, Jimmy. It really is, man. I wish, like, if I could go back and change anything, I would have had kids earlier. What's up, Morning After Kill and Kyle? Sorry, I was looking at the YouTube chat. I didn't even notice. Yeah, Kyle. Like once you get them hooked on that shit, it's real hard to get them unhooked. So like, if Macy's in the room with the TV, she usually doesn't even pay attention to it most of the time. But when I have Macy Monday through Friday, I play with her. Like we play toys. I chase her around. We look at things. She picks stuff up. You know, I do that shit. You know, and just I don't think it's good to have kids glued to a screen. Oh. Healy almost bit it. Yeah, see, so much of society is brainwashed through what they see on TV. Like, just ideas, what you think normal is shaped by what you see in movie and television. Like, you know, now that I've started thinking about certain things, I look back at how brainwashed I was. Right, I agree with you, Jimmy, that that's exactly one of the reasons why I wish I could go back in time and have 3 or 4 kids. That really is, like, you know, for a healthy nation, you need to, it starts with having healthy families. So I do want to instill exercise and discipline into my kiddo from a young age. Your lists. Huh. My Amazon app is being a dumb piece of garbage trash. Well, there's a book that I wanted to recommend for you, Kyle. It's called An Empire of Their Own. And then a subtitle I was going to look up that I can't remember, but my Amazon's being a bitch. More than 90%, man. The TV's basically just a little propaganda machine, which sucks because I love movies and horror movies and shit, but just it's really subversive, the level of control that is exercised on the populace through television screens. Let's see. I know what those probably are, so we will identify you. Pocket fruit. Good, good. I'm from Ohio, Jimmy, in the Midwest. We got a lot of Scotch-German folks around here. Up north, you get lots of Amish. Those are, and what are they? Dutch, German Baptists. You get a lot of German Baptists. I'm Scotch-Irish. Oh, I love Ohio. I really do love the state of Ohio, actually. We've produced the most astronauts and the most presidents than any other state. The other thing I like is we have the best paved bicycle trail network in the country. I wish that our cities had better bicycle infrastructure so that cycling wasn't so treacherous. A lot of people, you know, complain about where they're from, but I think, you know, wherever you go, there you are. There's nothing wrong with being proud of where you come from. What's up, Berserker? A Brave New World is on my list. But An Empire of Their Own is about the media masters and how they manipulate and control the world and politics through movies and TV. Isn't it just dangerous in Australia? Like, under every rock there's like something venomous that wants to kill you. And you got like Aborigines sleeping in the street because it's warm. I know a little bit about Australia. Just a little bit. I got a internet buddy that lives down there. And then, you know, one of the message boards I post on Australian got a lot of good banter from Australia. A lot of good shit talkers. Yeah, we read Animal Farm in school. Hey, thanks for stopping by for a minute, Berserker. I'm always glad to see anyone pop in the chat room and say what's up. Yeah, quit bullying my fucking healer. I haven't seen the movie version of Animal Farm. Yeah, Animal Farm is one of the rare few books that I read in school and enjoyed. I remember my English teacher was like, oh, you guys are gonna love... Fuck, what's the one? Catcher in the Rye. Like, oh, you're gonna love it. There's sex, there's violence. And I just thought, man, this protagonist, is it Holden Caulfield? He's just a whiny bitch. He says, everyone's a phony, man. Blue, blue, blue. It's like, what an unlikable piece of shit. Like, Ohio's wildlife, not too bad. The most dangerous thing you really got to worry about, like, around here is coyotes. And they don't really bother people, but, like, I live in the suburbs, and there's been lots of coyotes lately. I figure it's because, like, no one hunts anymore. Like, the general populace has been so feminized that no one's really out there controlling the population for a lot of wildlife. So now, like, I see foxes every now and then, and I don't live particularly close to any, like, big forests. I don't think Ohio has bears. The real problem, wildlife, down south is wild boars. Like, wild boars are very aggressive, dangerous animals, and they're all over the place. You can look up videos of YouTube, like people down south hunting boars from helicopters. Ohio used to have boars. No, that's wrong. When they built Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the Air Force Base around here, they had a lot of rattlesnakes. And then they brought in boars to eat the rattlesnakes. And that's some bullshit, I know, because my mom used to tell me that all the time when I was a kid. Yeah, every now and then when I'm out on the bike trail, I might see a little teeny tiny green snake. I don't know shit about no animals, but I'm pretty sure they're not dangerous. And like the occasional gardener snake. Oh man, I hear that baby. I should have been more quiet. Getting excited talking about venomous muskrats. Now the next state over to the east, West Virginia, that's pretty much untouched God's country. It's all like mountainous and foothills, and I've recently fallen in love with that state. I went there a couple years ago for a convention about a urban legend monster, the Mothman. I went to the Mothman Festival and absolutely fell in love with the state. It's absolutely gorgeous. The people are like super polite. Like everyone is friendly. And so we were like, while we were there, we're like, oh, let's see what else the state has to offer. So we went and to an abandoned coal mine town. And like just reading about it, there are poisonous snakes, like all sorts. Like, again, I don't know. We saw a couple of black snakes, which might either be a non-venomous, okay to fuck with snake, or a super venomous, dangerous snake. But they were both black, and it's like, let's avoid that little fella. It wasn't John Cusack, it was Richard Gere. Mothman Prophecies, and yes, that is based on the legend. In the, I think it was the 70s, the bridge over the Ohio River from Ohio to West Virginia collapsed. But the week before that, a bunch of kids were like out partying in the woods, getting drunk, and they probably just saw a large barn owl. And based on the description, it was probably a large barn owl. But so like they get parts of the legend correct, but I mean, go read the Wikipedia page about the Mothman. It's just a couple of drunk kids saw something spooky in the woods and exaggerated. But they have a festival there year in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and there's a hayride. Like they have a tractor pull a wagon. We have hay rides in America in the fall, and you take kids on them, and you usually go like around a barn and see like autumn, like fall season stuff, and or it's usually around Halloween, and there's like bales of hay and pumpkins, and costume kids spook the shit out of your 4-year-old, and if you don't know what hay rides are in Australia, but they had a hay ride, right? So we're going. And it's like the prom queen is like giving the tour, and like charming as fuck, just this real charming little town. And like half of the tour is we also have a a festival in the fall for like apple pies. Come back to town and buy some apple pies. So then, like, every chance we've had to go back to West Virginia, we've taken it. Like, we went to a fast food drive-thru, and I got some of the best service I've ever had, because they were just so friendly and polite. You know, our pimply-faced Ohio teenagers are just like, I mean, this guy was on it. Usually don't get that at a freaking Wendy's. I've never been out that far west. I don't know. From what I've seen of LA, it looks like an abysmal shithole, just in general, the state of California. Like, really, your LA's, Las Vegas, New York City, that's so different than the rest of the country. I mean, they really are. Might as well just be a completely different country. Like, what you hear about the South from TV and movies, like, that's one of those things where, like, I've awakened to how the media distorts and lies about things. Like, the way they present the South is a fucking disgrace, really. Because, like, when I went, we drove to Florida, and we stopped in Georgia, and just everyone is so pleasant and friendly. And it's just beautiful country. I don't know, it's... Yeah, but the way they frame it on TV and movies is just like so vitriolic, you know, just so hateful. Like, they hate those people, and it's like, why? It's such a nice place. My brother moved to South Carolina, and I haven't been yet, but I am curious to go and check it out, see what it's all about. I got this one guy that listens to my podcast. He's from Australia, and he's a hardcore leftist. So it's like, you got some pretty wacky leftoids. Like, I remember hearing last summer the It's Okay to Be White flyering campaign. Like, in Australia, that's considered legally hate speech. Like, it's not okay. It's like legally not okay to be a white person. Like, oh boy. Yeah, I know where you're talking about, at least in Raleigh. My brother just moved about 20 minutes outside Charlottesville. I've seen him more since he's moved than when he lived 2 miles down the street, because like every 2 weeks there's a fucking hurricane and they have to come back. Boy, I don't know what the cuisine's like in Australia, but you know, I imagine lots of good southern cooking, very fatty and salty. Get those dopamine hits, that southern soul food. I imagine it's pretty... Imagine it'll hit the right spot. Doesn't Australia on Australia Day have like hamburgers made out of kangaroo shaped like Australia or some shit? Fuck, no, I don't want to go. Shit. 2 enemies spawned after I got to this point. Damn it. Yeah, like the thing you hear about southern food is it's just going to be big portions, real greasy, lots of fried shit, which, hey man, I like me some, like barbecue, you know, ribs and fucking just all kinds of delicious meats. And greasy fried shit. Can't go wrong. So that's why, like, I think part of the obesity problem is our traditional cuisines through a lot of America is very high-calorie shit. Well, up until about 70 years ago, people were out working the land and, you know, doing lots of activities. So your traditional fried shit, now that you're sitting in a car all day and then you go to your cubicle, you're just, you know, eating too much high calorie shit, and there's just so much abundance. And I see, like, one of my goals is to eat 2 of every animal. So, like, I would eat, like, all sorts of kangaroos and crocodiles and shit. So, like, I've never really thought too much about... I mean, why would you really sit and think about other countries' food culture and shit? But most of Australia being as arid as it is, you know, like in the Southwest in Mexico, like a lot of Mexican food, they eat like the gross peasant pieces of meat. Like, it's not common to eat tongue here, but when you go to like one of the authentic Mexican taco trucks or whatever, they got like all sorts of like tongue and weird shit. And it's like, we don't have to eat that gross shit in Ohio, man. We just cows all over the fucking place. Let's see. I need to bring up the Twitch chat. I'm missing stuff. Isn't the sous vide, I don't know how you say that, but isn't that where you like boil the steak in a bag or something? I think my woman was talking about doing that. And my woman makes the hell out of a steak. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a stand-up desk. Like, I work in a cubicle, and I fucking hate it. I love and hate it. I hate the job. But I get a lot of downtime, so I get to space out and read a lot and play Game Boy and shit. I would still try to eat some kangaroo, though, just so that it's another animal I have conquered and gained its powers. Alright, so items. What do we need to do? Let's just try to use... Oh, wish I used it on the other guy. Now, like I said, man, 2 of every animal. I wouldn't flinch at a rat burger. I mean, there's plenty of places in the world where they're so impoverished that they eat trash animals. Well, the Spanish speakers in Mexico are usually Cubanos and Haitians and all sorts of that type. Nah, never heard of Andrew Zimmer. Right, Kyle. Like people not from Dayton think Marion's and Casanos is gross, but personally, I think Marion's is the single greatest pizza that has ever been. I've never had one come close. I hear that that's originally a St. Louis style, the extremely thin, salty. So I wouldn't mind going and trying some of their shit. Well, the problem with China is the gutter oil, where they use, like, shit and piss to fake oil or something. Like, I'd be a little more skeptical about anything out of China. Have you seen the fake eggs that they make so that they can get rid of their, like, toxic waste? China's a very special kind of evil shithole. Their main export is horrifying escalator accident videos. Just the daily sacrificing of children to the elevator gods and, like, the traffic accidents. Right, like apparently, Kyle, Detroit is known for their deep dish pizza too. Who would have known? Since I've got this membership with the cable access place, I want to do another show about food and talk about just like local restaurants and shit. And then, like, I wondered why, like, you see these horrifying traffic accidents in China and, like, no one helps. It's because their legal system, if you intervene, now you're responsible for that person's medical bills. So, like, they're better off not intervening legally. Just what a horrifying country. I wish I didn't kill that Dark Priest. I would have liked trying to catch him. Shit. Um, yeah, you're from Detroit, dude. What pizza would you recommend in Detroit? I forget what we got, but we got, like, whenever me and the woman travel, we stop somewhere and try to find a local pizza. So far, the only place that's really impressed me was we got something in Pennsylvania that was really good. Now I forget what the name of the place was. Oh. Yeah, fuck off, pal. Fuck! God damn it. Well, I mean, just like, what's the quintessential Detroit pizza? In Dayton, it's Marion's or Cassano's. I'd say most people tend to believe Marion's is the better of the two. Like, Marion's and Cassano's are kind of the same. I think my woman likes Cassano's more. I like Marion's, like, hands down, way better. Yeah, I believe I've had a Jets pizza, and I was not blown away by it. Oh, wow. If Domino's is the best you got, that's pretty abysmal. Like, I wouldn't even put... Well, the only big national chain I like is Papa John's. But I'm weird, and I only like the cheese pizza from Papa John's. Man, I got so far in that dungeon. God damn it. Yeah, I know there's some sort of deep-rooted battle between Cassano's and Marion's, but I think Marion's is 100% better. Now, I still like Cassano's, but it's just like Cassano's is a B- and Marion's is an A+. Like, I'd rather have a Cassano's more than any of the big national chains. Yeah, we got a good local place here in Kettering. What's it called? Troni's Pizza. I've only had one. I've been wanting to go there for years and years and finally had a chance. And it is really good. But still, I think Marion's is the top choice. Yeah, the suburb that I grew up in, Jimmy, at one point, we have a population of 40,000, and we had about 15 pizza places when I did the count. Like, gotta warn you, morning after kill, but a lot of people, non-locals, don't like the Marion's. It's an extremely thin crust. Very thin crust, very crispy, but I don't know. Get the deluxe. 10 out of 10. I love it. Everyone that like moves out of Dayton, when they come back, they meet at Marion's, because like part of the allure of Marion's is it's got a big, it's a big restaurant where you can have parties and get-togethers and shit. And So when anyone comes back to town, they get a Marion's. Then they get some Mike Sells potato chips. That's a local brand of chips. It's not like other places' thin crust. Like, it's paper thin. And then the big difference with Cassano's is that they salt the bottom of the crust. So if you like something real salty, Cassano's may be your choice. Yeah, Chick-fil-A is like, since I've started getting back in shape, I don't really eat fast food, but I will eat Chick-fil-A. They also, like, they've always got, like, just the staff there is always presentable and, like, you know, well kept. I like that it's a Christian company and closed on Sundays. That's charming to me. Yeah, Chick-fil-A is pretty good. Oh, if you go to the Jimmy, if you go to the South, try a Zaxby's. It's like just chicken fingers, but that's another good chain restaurant. Like, that's decent fast food if you like chicken tendies. Then I would recommend the Marion's, but it actually works with the Cassano's, the salty crust. It is pretty good. Zaxby. Zaxby's. Wait a minute. Zaxby. You're one of the Z countries, right? Fuck, I forgot to turn on my guys. Shit. I was just in Kentucky this last Friday. They have Zaxby's down there, so we stopped and got some Zaxby's. Ohio's starting to get a similar chain. It's out of Texas called Raising Cane's. They're pretty good too. We just got one about 2 miles away from the house. What's good in Canada? I fucked up. I'm probably not going to do so well. Yeah, the poutine. Was it like gravy on the fries or some shit? I don't drink or gamble. Maybe on the right occasion, I'll drink every few years or so. But like in general, not a big drinker. When I say not a big drinker, I mean like maybe once or twice every 5 years. Really has to be like an occasion or something. I'm too old for that shit. Yeah, see, that's one of the things I hate about the modern world, Jimmy, that go to fucking Australia and you got the exact same restaurants I got down the street. Just the globalization and just complete lack of character that the world has. I don't like that everywhere in the world gets the same pop culture references that I make. Like, that kind of makes me sad. Yeah, I effed up. I brought the guys out in the wrong order, too. Not doing so hot. When I was prone to partying, I did prefer that option, morning after kill. Imbibing in a little bit of that would always put me in a good mood for the entire rest of the day. And then make me sleep well, so like what's not to love? But I never really did that too often either. Too much of a cheap cunt. I mean, on the one hand, Jimmy, it is cool that if I travel, like, I know I can get something that's not too gross or weird, like if I needed to. But at the same time, I want to eat crocodile sausage and fucking kangaroos if I go to Australia. Right. If you want a challenge, if you want a food eating challenge, try to find food that does not have soy in it. So since I've started lifting, I'm 36, which is around the time that your testosterone levels start dropping, which has all sorts of fucking mental effects. You know, I want to reduce my soy consumption. So basically anything out of a box has soy added to it. And my woman thinks I'm crazy, but, you know, you look at all these people that eat nothing but soy, the sperm rates are dropping, like... You look at just men in general, they're effeminate as shit now. Like at a startling rate. Well, if you ever make it to the States, man, let me know. I'll give you the tour of the Midwest. It's not quite the flyover state people make it out to be. If you give a shit about military history, Dayton is home of the United States Air Force Museum, which is pretty cool. I got some spaceships and rockets and shit. Lots of cool planes and shit. If you're into museums and military history. That's really the only big international draw Dayton has. I don't know if it's worth the plane ride to get in Marion's, but I would advocate for it. That is true. America is pretty flat. Ohio is pretty flat. Not a lot of hills. But I always assumed that the Great Plains and shit was, was the plains. I always assumed they were flatter. We do have a really good steak restaurant. I've never been. It's on my list of places to go. What's it called? The Pine Club. Oh, shit. Actually, if you came through here, I would, like, the other place I would recommend is Made Right. We have a place called Made Right, a county over, about an hour or so drive from here. They have these loose meat sandwiches. I make the trip out there a couple times a year. And Kyle, have you ever had a Made Right? That's from a nice, quaint little town in the next county over. I believe one of the presidents made the trip out to Made Right, but one of the President Bushes had to wait to get into the Pine Club. Apparently that's part of their tradition, is like you have to wait to get in. And they made the president, I think it was the older President Bush, the first one. No, it might have been the second Bush. HW, I forget their middle names. One of the President Bushes had to wait to get into the Pine Club. I hear they got pretty good steaks. But I haven't been yet. I'd like to go check them out. Yeah, Made Right is the shit. And then it's like this diner from the 30s. And the tradition there is you put gum on the wall and stick a penny to the gum. So like the whole side of the building's coated in dirty ass gum and copper. And then the health department wanted to make them take that off, but they've been doing it for decades, and people come from all over the place to go there, and that's just part of the traditions. Like, people were protesting and shit. So the gum is still there. And then there's another place. They have a special... Man, I messed up, didn't I? I did not complete this floor. Or did I? No, I did. That's just... Okay. There's a place up in Troy. It was about an hour straight north of here. That, called Kay's Hamburger. And... they call it wet grilling. So the grill sits about an inch deep. And they're basically like deep frying the burgers. And it's real affordable. And it's like a 50s diner. Like the aesthetic is from the 50s. And it's just, man. And it's affordable for what you're getting. That's another place I'd recommend to someone from out of town. Get fat as fuck, man. Canton. I know there's a Canton, Ohio, but I've never been. And then Troy it's on the bike path that I ride, so like I go through there all the time. Really not much going on in Troy. I got some bomb ass hamburgers though. Definitely worth an hour drive every now and again. I used to read, we had this free weekly newspaper in Dayton called the Dayton City Paper. Real disgusting leftist trash, but they had it at my job and I'd read it all the time. And the main thing was I'd look for restaurant reviews and places to take my woman. And Kay's Hamburgers was one that I really wanted to go to for a long, long time. And then we finally went, and it was the shit. I'd recommend that to you, Kyle. Yeah, you go to Young's for the ice cream. I gave up anything with sugar in it, so. But I am looking forward to taking Macy to see the goats and cows and shit. I've never had the food at Young's. I know they have a restaurant. I think I have 2 restaurants. I've never had the food before. Well, you know, Jimmy, I'm an American, so we live and die for our burgers. And then there's one that we had not too long ago. It's called Kewpie Burger, like a Kewpie doll. And that's... It was the first chain restaurant in the country, I learned when I read the Wikipedia article about it. There's about 4 of them left in Ohio, but there used to be like hundreds. And Wendy's... I'm sure you've heard of Wendy's in Australia because you have every one of our mega corporations there. Wendy's is from Ohio, and it's the fast food version of Kewpie Burger. So we went and made a special trip to try a Kewpie Burger, and it was pretty good. I don't know if I would make the 2-hour drive as often as I go to K's, but that was a pretty good burger. Yeah, morning after kill. On my website, I got it set up so that I can see the YouTube chat and the Twitch chat. So yeah, we got an Australian bro on the YouTube chat. Kyle's one of my local friends. He's from IRL. Alright, man, you have a good day. Morning after kill. Thanks for stopping in and checking out the stream for a bit. Watching me get to the end of the dungeon and getting my shit wrecked. Thank you. I think I only have a few more story-related dungeons to go before I can check this off on the spreadsheet. Yeah, for something special like that, that's temporary, I can see making a journey. I don't think I've ever had In-N-Out. Wendy's, I would say, is one of the, like, every now and then if I'm in a pinch, I'll get a Wendy's, because that's one of the better fast food places as well. Yeah, I tried Panda Express and it was trash. I mean, if you're going to get Chinese food, it's pretty much the same everywhere when it's, you know, not a big chain place like that. That's the only big chain Chinese restaurant I've ever had, and it was just trash. I hate that, like, Chipotle style, like, where they make it look like a factory assembly line. I hate that style of restaurant that's popped up. Like, whenever I go anywhere, I try to find the locally owned mom and pop shops. And the older, the better. What are the 6 theme parks? I know, like, Kings Island and, fuck. Six Flags. The thing that really blows me over the most with Ohio is the bike trail. Which, Kyle, you gotta get yourself a fucking road bike, because my, cycling squad is growing. Matt's getting a bike. He's gonna start riding again. He's got some shit ordered and is, getting a bike soon. So this spring he's gonna start riding. I think Kyle's talking about just what's in Ohio. Like, Ohio has all kinds of shit. People really sleep on Ohio. They think it's just all flyover country, but we've got, like, 4 major cities. Like, I'm sure in Australia you've heard of Columbus, Cincinnati, and Cleveland. Those are 3 large cities. I live in a medium-sized city. Like, Dayton's fairly large. And you've probably heard of Dayton. I hear reference to it on TV all the time. I was watching Supernatural, which is one of my guilty pleasure shows. Like, it's trash, but I still watch it. And, like, one of the last seasons I watched, Dayton was a major plot point city. Isn't Americana been closed for a long ass time? Like, didn't some kid die there or something? Now, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, though. Fucking Drew Carey, a show that hasn't been on for over a decade, and you know all about it. You know, I wouldn't expect someone from other parts of the world to know all about Drew Carey. So that was the end of the level, and I guess that makes this heal station. I should have been paying attention. Oh, something else that's real American that I'd recommend checking out that the Midwest has quite a bit of. The drive-in movie theater. I love the drive-in movies. Kyle actually lives near one of them that we have in the area, the Dixie Twin. That's a real American thing. That's like some real genuine American 50s culture that there's still quite a bit of in the Midwest. We used to have like 3 of them in the area that were still open. There's still one up on Route 49. Can't think of the city that it's in. I think it's just, I don't know, it's fucking Route 49. I believe that one's still open. Then we used to have 2 in Dayton. Now I think we just have the one. Well, again, the people that are in control of the media are openly, basically anti-American. So, you know, most people in general are nice, you know? Alright, so if you've already had the drive-in experience, I wouldn't go out of my way to get it. But I do know that was a big authentic piece of American culture, and it sounds like you got the right experience. Oh boy, oh boy, oh. I wonder why these... Every now and then, more enemies will spawn. I try to clear out every enemy so I get my levels maxed. I wonder if there's any rhyme or reason to how the enemies spawn. I think one of my biggest disappointments with this game is, like, I really wanted to play as the character from Landstalker, but my play style seems to gel with the Beastman quite a bit more. I think he's the easiest playable character going in with the brute force. But if I had infinite time, I would try to level up all the guys and get Nigel to where he is a little more usable. Alright, now I'm just working a stupid wage slave job. I help the deaf and hard of hearing communicate over the telephone. But once my daughter gets a little bit older and I can pawn her off on my mom to watch her, I'm gonna go to trade school and be an electrician is the plan. So it's an interesting job until you have done enough of it to where you know the ins and outs. The worst part about the job is it's heavily abused by inmates, especially from the shithole state of Florida. I believe the only solution to the Florida question is nuclear holocaust. Because just about everyone in Florida is in prison and trying to abuse the TTY system. I might take you up on that, but I'm in the next year probably. Maybe at the outside latest 2 years, I'm going to go to trade school. And yeah, it's like a lot of younger people aren't going into the skilled trades because they've been bamboozled into going to college and getting their like feminist, lesbian, of color, flute whittling degrees, which are fucking worthless, but really great if you're trying to create a generation of debt slavery, which is fucking evil. You know, you spend an entire lifetime educating these kids that the only thing they can do is go to college. The older daughter, we were talking last night, we watched something on TV, and the guy on TV's like, yeah, I want to be a politician, but I don't want to go to school and be a lawyer to become president. And that's the most common path for getting into politics is lawyering, you know? And then work your way into politics from there. And I was like, it's not a mandate. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, President Trump didn't go to fucking college for shit. And, you know, he didn't become a lawyer. And that just really blew the older kid's mind. It's like, he did it? It's like, you don't have to go to college to do a lot of things. Yeah, so last year I was teaching the class at my job for the new hires, which was great until they screwed me over and stopped that. Yeah, but he didn't go to college to become a lawyer. Like, I'm sure he went to school for something, but he wasn't a lawyer. He didn't intend on going into politics. But anyone can be voted president. It's more winning a popularity contest. But anyway, she was blown away that you didn't have to go to college to, you know, do something successful. And it's just, you know, so many people think that's the only path. But there are a lot of good paying jobs that people have been brainwashed into thinking they're too good for. Which is kind of a disgusting attitude, you know? But you got all these baby boomers about to retire. And you got like all these Gen Xers that didn't do shit. And all these millennials that think work's below them. Kyle, you've been requested on the YouTube chat. I don't know. Right. Like the screeching from the media elites over that is fucking hilarious. They signed Trump is making it so that colleges have to respect freedom of speech. They have to respect the First Amendment. Which, you know, the leftists in the 1960s were all about freedom of speech, so they could spread that communist bullshit. Right, like the boomers fucked over America too. They're like, well, you know, let's open the floodgates of immigration so we can get some cheap lawn care. What could possibly go wrong? Did I just fuck up? I think I just fucked up. Oh well. So, Jimmy, do you do streaming? Your screen name's Jimmy Live. What do you do live? Are there just no enemies on this floor? Let's see how I can go get fucked up. So is there anything on your channel that I can go back and watch, or is it all just got to be there at the moment live? Ah, shit. Was the banter too strong? God, I worry about that if you hear some of the shit I say on my podcast 10 years ago. Eee. The fucking clown world we live in. I work with, well, not to mention the transgendered folks, but also I work with a legitimate bearded lady. Now, when my dad was a young lad, you used to have to go into a gypsy's tent with a nickel to see a bearded lady. You didn't just work with bearded ladies. I don't think it was meant to be this way. Yeah, shit you not. Just some very militant-looking young gal with just a full-on fucking beard. It's just like, oh, God. You look around at the lady in the men's room wearing a wizard's cape, which happened to me at work one day, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? There's also a guy that works there that I think might be schizophrenic, or he might be high-functioning autistic, like Chris Chan or something. His inner monologue is external. He just, like, everything he thinks is like, go to the restroom, use restroom, it's break time, eat lunch. It's like, whoa. You taking all your meds, bud? Like, how do you do the job if, like, you have to narrate the actions in the men's room? God, being a wage slave is hell. No, I've never played Rust. I've never been a big PC gamer. For some reason, I imagine that's a PC game. Right, we will use a heal on me. No, we will do the opposite of that. We will use a heal fruit on this guy. That guy's faster, so we will heal spell. And we will do that. So far, so good. Take out that idiot. Sounds like Toots Magoots is waking up. I was getting ready to check on her. Fucking 1:45. She's usually up by half an hour, 45 minutes ago. And there we go, dead again. Well, I was hoping to beat this dungeon today, but it looks like that is not in the cards. And it was by the same group of enemies, too. Maybe I need to focus on the armor guys. I was thinking, you know, take out the Gila-mans so that they can't just keep healing. I don't know. So maybe later tonight I'll get some Dreamcast time in. Really like to get this dungeon beat the story mode. But thanks for hanging out in the chat, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. I'm gonna go feed this baby lunch and go visit my mom. Got some chores to do. I'm gonna run to the store for her. And I haven't updated my address on eBay, so I have a Dreamcast game that I irresponsibly purchased waiting for me at her house. So I'm gonna go get that. Alright. I just saved, right? We're gonna save again. Does anyone else do that? Obsessively save? I obsessively save. Also, when I play turn-based games, I just keep tapping the button like a fucking retard. I hope that's not annoying because I sit so close to the microphone. Just tap, 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 tap. Fucking idiot. Alright. Okay, we're all saved up. Alright, later guys.